The market shift is coming. That's what I'm talking about today. I'm going to give you a March market update, and I'm not just going to spew a whole bunch of stats that mean nothing to people. I'm going to give you practical information of what I'm seeing as I'm working with clients in all different price ranges around the greater Salt Lake City area. So stay tuned. Hi, this is Melissa Ballman, and I'm a real estate agent here in the greater Salt Lake City area. So what that means, if you're looking at making a real estate move, I'd love to connect with you. Shoot me a text, send me an email, do what you gotta do, but get in touch with me. But first, today, I wanna just touch base on what is happening in the real estate market here in March, and kind of that transition that we're starting to see. Now, unfortunately, and I've said this before to people, there are certain market conditions that there's no crystal ball, nobody can predict the shift coming. And that is when world events, unfortunately, like Russia and what's going on, can really change the housing market. And we saw it with 9/11 where things were going really strong, and then suddenly the market tanked because of 9/11. So today I want to talk a little bit about that and what we're seeing in the greater Salt Lake City area, specifically Salt Lake and Utah counties. So it has been a really hot seller's market for a few years. We're seeing huge appreciation prices year over year. And recently, Salt Lake City ranked as one of the top 51 metro areas in the United States for home appreciation or home price amounts. So I don't want to say that a total shift is changing and we're going to a buyer's market. That's not what I'm going to tell you today. But we are seeing some things in the market that are indicating that it's kind of shifting in some particular situations to be more of a buyer's market and not such a competitive seller's market with competing with 30 different offers on a home. So the first and obvious thing is the rising interest rate. And that's been a top story for a while. If you watched any of my videos at the end of 2021, you heard me talk about interest rates being predicted to go up. Now, I like to think of interest rates like the weather, whether they do or whether they don't. Everybody talks about interest rates are going up, and the Fed has announced that they're expecting 6 rate increases, but whether or not they do it or not is a whole nother topic. But they are doing it, and we're still at historically low interest rates. However, people are getting double whammied with higher interest rates right now, and the home prices being as high as they are. It's making affordability go down. So some of my contacts with home builders are saying that they have been seeing since the beginning of the year homes falling out of contract right before completion and move-in because buyers no longer qualify to purchase the home that they were under contract for the last 9 months, year, whatever it's been, because of the substantial interest increase. And first-time home buyers, especially, that were kind of right on that cusp of being able to afford a home, whether it was new construction or not, have now been priced out of the market with these interest rate increases that we've been seeing. Now, we saw another big increase already today, and it's only Tuesday morning. We have jumped about 0.25% from this time last week. To give you a real life example, I had a client lock in an interest rate last Monday. Had they done it the Friday before, their payment would have been about $200 less. And that stings. That's a big difference. Now, keep in mind, that's about a $600,000 to $650,000 loan amount. But take a look at what the median home prices are in Salt Lake County and Utah County, where we're anywhere from $580,000 median home price in February of 22 in Salt Lake City. And for probably the first time ever, or at least since I've been licensed since 2006, Utah County is even higher at $589,000 median sales price for February. So we're definitely, that loan amount I'm talking about where it made a $200 difference per month, that's right in there with the median sales price right now. So from the beginning of last week until today, we're seeing about 1/4 to 3/8% interest rate increase. To put that into perspective, the example I just gave you with the client, theirs was 1/4% increase from Friday to Monday and made a $200 a month payment difference for them. So given that from last week to this week, we're about 1/4 to 3/8% increase, it's nothing that is small. It can make a substantial difference on a mortgage payment for somebody. So if somebody was not going to pay any discount points, we're seeing about just over 4%, about 4.125% today. But a lot of them are pushing almost up to that 4.5% interest rate right now. Okay, so let's jump into what is practical and what is actually happening in the market with clients. And make sure you stay tuned to the end because I'm going to talk about something in the market we haven't seen in a really long time that is peeking its ugly head. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell. That way you're alerted each week when I drop a new video. Okay, so I'm currently working with clients that are all over the board with price range, up to $2.5 million currently. I have some that are looking more in that $500,000, $600,000 range. So, and first-time buyers that are looking for as little as possible. And so what I am seeing is we are still having really high prices. We are still seeing multiple offers in some situations, a lot of them, where multiple offers, but I'm also seeing agents doing what they haven't done in well over a year. And that is when they have a home listed, they're reaching out to agents saying, hey, bring me an offer. I have a motivated seller. What did your buyers think of this property? And that hasn't happened in quite a while. Now, the other thing I want people to take note of is that we're actually seeing price drops in the market. When I pulled the stats for Monday, what was that, March 21st, we actually had more price drops in the market than we saw price increases for the day. And I have been noticing that trend for a few weeks where we're seeing more and more price drops happening, which is great news for buyers, not so good news for sellers who have been kind of on the fence and waiting for the spring market to list their homes. So an example of those motivated sellers and pricing high to start to see what happens, I have a client that was interested in a townhouse in Utah County. It was listed either Thursday or Friday last week, and then it was either Sunday or yesterday, I received an alert that the fourth day on the market, it has dropped $26,000 in their list price. So substantial decrease in just a matter of the weekend. Now, on the flip side of that, I did have a client over the weekend looking at a townhouse in Salt Lake County in that $500,000 range. And the property they liked had just been listed in Daybreak, and it listed higher than what I could find comparables for. And I'm talking about $50,000 difference between list price and what it comped out at. And so we did not put in an offer on that property. However, it did go under contract on Monday, yesterday. I'm also seeing more houses that go under contract fall out of escrow and become available again. Now, I kind of touched on that with new construction, but I'm seeing it even with the existing homes where they may have multiple offers. I've had this happen with a couple houses in the past week. They had multiple offers. We didn't get in to see them, and they're now coming back on the market for sale. So if you're looking at homes, make sure that you're opening things up to not just brand new on the market, because those homes are becoming available again. So we are still seeing really high prices. We are still seeing things going fast, even though, in my opinion, that house didn't comp out anywhere close to what it was listed for and wasn't worth it. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out, especially if there was an appraisal. So the market is really turbulent right now. It's not 100% on seller's side, and we're kind of seeing that shift between buyers and sellers. Over market value, under market value, price drops, increases. It's just nuts. And that's one of the reasons why it is so important for people to work with an agent who is actively and experienced in this market. Okay, and as promised, let's talk about what we're seeing in the market that hasn't happened in a while. And unfortunately, for some people, that is notice of defaults. What happens is when people have defaulted on their loan for 3 consecutive months, it is recorded with the county, and we are seeing an increase in notice of defaults. For instance, yesterday in Salt Lake County, there was about 12 to 15 recorded notice of default. And, but that's throughout Salt Lake County, Utah County, Davis County, Weber County. We're seeing it all over the state, and not sure what's leading to that. If it was people that did forbearance type programs during COVID and have now defaulted on their loan now that those incentives are done. If they just bought and really stretched themselves to a point that wasn't good and they're now defaulting on the loan. Whatever the situation is, it's very, very unfortunate for those people, but it is also bringing more investors out to the market. We're starting to see more investors peek out and say, hey, let me know if you have a house that needs to be flipped. Let me know if you have a good rental property, things like that. So we are seeing that transition with more investors where I know my investors were pretty quiet the last year to year and a half, and just kind of seeing the equity they had gained in the properties that they were purchased before the big jump. But they are starting to come out again. So what are some of the prices? I pulled the statistics for what has been reported so far in March. And for Salt Lake County, homes are still selling for about $22,000 over what they were listed for. So far in March, Salt Lake County, the average list price was just over $504,000, so about $584,500. And the average sold price has been almost $607,000 in March. Shifting down to Utah County, our average list price has been about almost $582,000, and the average sold price is just over $593,000. So about $11,500 over what homes were listed for is the average that they're selling for. I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you have any real estate related questions or looking at making a real estate move, I'd love to connect with you. But as always, make it a great day.